You are Black in the Green Room with me, your host, Keith Underwood. And this is your spot for real talk about entertainment with entertainers, creatives, and showbiz professionals. And we are joined today by the cast of Table 17, Gail Bean, Biko Eisen-Martin from the Geffen Playhouse. The play, written by Douglas Lyons and directed by Zhailon Levingston, explores love, forgiveness, and second chances. I'm also thrilled to be joined by my very special guest co-host, Joel Crump, who is Broadway's youngest journalist. Everybody, welcome to Black in the Green Room.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Yes.
Yeah. Absolutely welcome. Absolutely welcome. So Table 17, it has been described as a heartfelt story about reconnection. How would each of you describe the play in your own words?
I would describe it as something therapeutic, I don't know if it's a closure necessarily, I would say, of sorts, but like a rediscovering, a different perspective of a relationship from the beginning, middle, and end.
Mm-hmm.
I would say it's about the dynamism, the inertia that dynamic relationships create, and how people kind of vibrate, in that space once they're really in love,
Mm-hmm.
and sometimes it's like that energy gets far from you, but it never dissipates, it's always somewhere out there, and kind of like a planet or a moon or a black hole. It pulls you,
Like the
you know
push
what I
and pull of
mean?
love.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
the push, and just that kind of like, when the forces between people are strong for whatever reason, and the stuff that comes with that,
Mm-hmm.
Now I know that Douglas Lyons, who wrote the play, pulled from, the 80s and 90s rom-coms, 80s, 90s Black rom-coms. How is that energy streamed into the rehearsals as you guys begin Table 17?
Well, I know we were assigned to watch sitcoms, to kind of start naming and claiming moments in sitcoms as kind of archetypical moments that could relate to various moments, and so some of that, whether it's like literal or just kind of more imaginative, like, oh, I'm kind of thinking of this character in this moment, or I'm really gonna try to do what Jamie Foxx did on this one episode or something like that, so we actually spent some time doing that. And also, you should check the trailer out. The trailer is really cool. They did a little
piece that they put together from clips of the New York run, and then Zhailon and Douglas talking about the play, and
with like clips from the movies, though.
Yeah.
The how they got a little reel with the poetic justice.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, that's very interesting. Do you think that your approach in this production is very similar to kind of a sitcom romance?
I think it does give that. So he referenced like Love Jones and Poetic Justice. And I think it does give that historic, grounded Black love and the comedy of it, but also some of the toughness of it. I think the beauty in that is like we see a full, well-rounded picture of Black love, of love in general, whether it's self-love, whether it's platonic love, whether it's relationship dynamic love. I would say so myself, yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of different ways of loving on someone, for sure.
Yes. And how do both of you, how do you connect to your characters? What do you bring to them?
I would say, honestly, Jada has a sense of ownership about her, and not necessarily feeling that she is violating anyone or herself. He feels a sense.
Don't give up too. Don't give up too.
of what's the word I'm looking for?
Purpose?
She feels a sense of purpose, but also like expectation.
See, I was gonna say entitlement.
I wasn't gonna say entitlement, expectation.
Venus and Mars.
She views love a certain way, linear, because of how she's seen love portrayed in her past from her parents. And I would say I relate to that very much so, with the people in my life, how I've witnessed love. And I think I connect with her the most on that level. And then she has a process where she later reflects and finds different new ways to perceive something, new vantage points. I would say also that I have some of that same way of, hindsight is 2020.
What about for you, Biko?
She's also a hopeless romantic. So.
Oh, that's a beautiful thing.
I love Dallas's free spirit. I dance a lot. I listen to a lot of music when I do this, which is sometimes life can be more serious. So I love the kind of playfulness of Dallas. I'm definitely a very playful person, so I love how it's nice when you get provided that space to kind of operate in that mode as a job, to just really play. And even when it gets serious, to still play a little bit, it's fun in that sense. And, of course, everybody has some heartbreak to, connect to. I'm not gonna name no names, but we all, so that, anytime you're doing a love story, you're ushering in all your memories and realities and opinions, so it's always fun to kind of play in that, and play in your own mud, for lack of a better term.
Love it.
Now, for you, Biko, you've done the play before here in New York.
Biko. It's Biko.
Biko. Okay.
Biko.
Like Stephen Biko.
Awesome. So for you, Biko,
Denzel's first movie, Cry Freedom. Check it out if you don't know who Biko is.
yes, you've done the play before in New York. To return to it now, what has that been like? And for you, Gail, to join him, he's done the play before. What was that like jumping in to the party?
I mean, joining something as like the new person, odd man out, is always kind of scary. It's always, you have moments where you're in your head of like, this is already a family. I'm coming into something. And I felt like, you're playing catch up. You just like, all right, I'm playing catch up. I'm running, playing catch up. But after a while, you kind of hit a groove where it's like all things wash away and you kind of just appreciate the process. What will later come of it. But I was a fan of the script already, a fan of a lot of their work. So I was honestly happy to be here. So it's nice to like, okay, they was kind of in the mud with me, like watching my process is like the neophyte. So it's been a journey.
I love that.
What about for you, Biko? Apologies.
Honor and a privilege, like this, as I said, this play has such a great energy to it that's just it is a blessing to be a part of it, to affect people, just to affect people with love and comedy, which is not always my go-to, even though it's just so even again just to have an annual reminder that love and levity and joy is okay in this world that seems to be saying it's not all the time, right? So that's one, and also just Gail has come in and is doing a wonderful job. Instantly part of the thing. Gail is one of the coolest people on earth, aside from being like a mega superstar. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Really, really cool. So it's just been fun, and she's a giant. So I feel ultra privileged that it's like, oh, I get to I just been playing opposite these like kind of giant epic women in our industry, kind of back to back, as if I was some kind of movie star, but I'm just a theater guy, yeah, right. But so for me, it's just been awesome to be able to just like work with these superstars, and Michael is phenomenal as well. Zhailon, Cats is coming out on Broadway, like, so these are a bunch of beautiful, brilliant artists, Bo,
the musical.
Douglas Lyons' new musical just taking New York by storm as we speak. So it's just like all these people at the top of their game, and just so it's just great to be around that inspiration and try to learn from it and keep up with it and do your best.
And piggybacking off of what you said, Biko, with the play taking place around just this one singular table, how did you guys build your chemistry and your emotional truth together?
I mean, we still building it. We haven't even started performing yet, so that's still in the process. But it's I don't want to give away too much of the play.
Right. Give us the mood. Give us the mood.
I mean, the mood, the moods change as they can at any family dinner, right?
Right.
It's a mercurial thing, right, that happens at the table, and so it is a little daunting too, though, to know that you're in this space and you only have this chair to kind of operate from. It gets a little tricky, but that's part of the fun of doing the piece, and that's where the language comes in and does a lot of the work for us too.
Yeah. And when you haven't seen someone in over 2 years, it never is just a dinner. It's never just a conversation. So that's the beauty, that it's so many complexities and revisitations within the conversation. It's not just, so how's your steak?
Right. Never really do ask about how the chicken wing.
It's better than your pork.
Got ratchet ranch.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Joel.
Well, as a theater journalist, I'm curious, what do you think Table 17 can teach younger people about communication, about forgiveness, and about emotional growth?
I think it can show them grace within themselves when it comes to communication and emotional growth, that nobody has it all figured out and that we are not perfect. I think it can also teach them patience with one another and self, but also transparency. How sometimes we may withhold information because we fear of what the end result may be, or we withhold information because we want to keep something perfect in the other person's eyes, where a lot of things can simply just be resolved by communicating up front and at the beginning, before we allow things to stack and build and reach tolerance level. I think it'll teach them a lot of things about themselves that isn't discussed. I think it can also open them up to therapy, and not just therapy for individual person, but therapy for people as a collective, in a relationship, in a family, in a friendship.
That's a great answer. Okay, love young people, you're in for it. I feel like it's like those things of like, if we could stop babies from bumping their heads, then nobody would have any scars on their. It's just, but some of these things are, inevitable, and people will forever miscommunicate and get tangled and untangled, and it's really, I think embracing that is part of the beauty of life, not something to let defeat you.
Yes.
Doesn't matter how many times you fall, just keep getting up.
Yes. And this is just a Keith read, but you both seem to be very alpha in your personalities. How does that play into the rehearsals thus far? And then how are you finding ways to kind of balance that? I see you, Gail.
We should do it, Gail.
We're covering it.
And And that was, so you asked about East West. So I was dealing with Sagittariuses on both coasts.
Wow.
Both have the same exact birthday.
Sagittarius.
Wow.
November 27th.
It's not a game.
Yes. So how are you finding balance during rehearsal? How are you doing that?
I just drink water. Yes, ma'am. Yes, what you need. For sure.
I think we pick and choose when to allow the other person to have it this time. All right, you got it.
You see, there you go, right there. You know, I just wait to be chosen. You know, you said it.
Oh gosh, that's funny. Joel, you have a question?
Yeah, I mean, I think you guys' chemistry is so great. What do you want audiences to come in and experience when they see you two at that table when the first preview comes around?
I want them to feel like they know us, like they either were us, or they know somebody from listening and speaking with a friend and helping them through, or hearing and being a part of their relationship journey, that they seen us. I just want us to feel real familiar. And that's the beauty of Douglas's writing. That's the beauty of Table 17 and these phenomenal other actors in the play, as well as Zhailon's directing. It feels so personal.
Mm-hmm.
So when people come see it, I want them to feel connected to the piece. I want them to feel represented. And just seeing like their stories matter, and proud to see love displayed in its fullness, the good, the messy, and the ugly.
Yes, like we're sitting at the table next to you.
Correct.
Yeah, I mean, another way of really saying the same thing. I just like want them to see a mirror. If me and Gail can just disappear, and it's like you're up there reconnecting with someone.
Yeah.
You know, if my face can disappear and your ex-boyfriend's face can come up, and her face can disappear and become your ex-girlfriend or your ex-person friend, whatever you identify at, you know what I mean? Whatever it is, just, I would hope that we disappear and people just kind of live in the story and wrestle with the questions that we're wrestling with. You know, to jump or not jump, basically, or to love or not love, to forgive or not to forgive, you know, all of those type of things.
And to laugh and like thoroughly be in the moments of joy.
Yeah, to have a great time, obviously. Yeah, to have a blast, you know, for sure.
Yeah. Gail, you've delivered some unforgettable performances on screen in Snowfall and P-Valley. What inspired your return to live theater?
You know, I wanted to be challenged. I have thoroughly enjoyed television and film. Theater was my foundation, and it's been so long since I've done theater where I had to really challenge myself to dive into a character and pour it all out live on stage, and just truly look at the past, know the whole script, work and build in the room with others. Because, you know, with television and film, you get it, you do your work at home, you come, you just be ready on set. So like actually creating and crafting in the room with someone is different than being on set and having that team where you just both already did your work outside and you come and you locked in. I think the discovering of the art and figuring it out together is a different approach that I haven't done in so long. So I really just wanted to challenge myself and rediscover my love. I always had a love for theater, but just kind of rediscover who I am now in that space. And I mean, what better play than to do it at Table 17 with these greats? What better city to do it in LA, which has given so much to my career. So I just really wanted to just get back to, you know, sometimes you got to go back to what made you the person that you are on screen and on camera. And then there's a difference in performance, whether it's stage and on camera. So being able to hone back into the difference of being more big and live as opposed to the quiet, the softer, the hidden moments when the camera is there, you know?
Right. There's a different physicality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Biko, you know, we've seen you do a lot of television and film stuff as well. but you do so much incredible theater, and we've seen you at the Public Theater, and we've seen you at MCC Theater. What's special about the Geffen for you?
It's my first time doing a play in LA, so that's cool.
Welcome.
Thank you. It's beautiful here. It's also it feels like I want to say a cool word, but it feels like no, but I just mean here at the Geffen right now with like Terrell McCraney is the artistic director now.
Really innovative.
The brother Size was just here.
Yeah.
Great
Yes.
play, Little Boy, Little Man going on right now. Hip hopped out, 2 years ago, I saw Lee Edward Colston's play here, which was like this super epic 3.5-hour family drama. It's just so much epic theater happening in this playhouse right now. So it just feels like a great time to be here and be a part of it. It feels like you're kind of at a hub of something, which is really nice.
Yeah, it's like a dynamic shift. I will say Terrell being in charge has brought a new wave to Geffen Playhouse that is really beautiful to see. It's a reflection of the world that we do live in, right? In all its beauty and all its versatility. And I think, to Biko's word, it is nice to be a part of something that's happening where you feel a revolution in a sorts, an artistic revolution in a sorts happening at Geffen Playhouse that is more cohesive, that is more inclusive. And it's just really nice to be on the brink of you kind of were a part of that wave issuing the start of the turn of something.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll follow up with that. Joel and I, we were talking about this before you guys joined the conversation. I was telling him about how theater is really, really starting to grow here. One of the major differences is that we don't have a theater row here. It's kind of spread out, all over the city. But what type of vibe are you guys getting from theater here in LA?
I've been picking up on that. I've been to 2 different stage readings at this point. Phenomenal pieces. Kimiyondo, what's Kimiyondo's last name?
Kutanini.
Brilliant writer. I forget the other writer's name of the other reading I saw, but also a great reading. So I'm seeing it, and I've talked to people who've been like, yeah, a lot of actors are realizing that they can do more to create their own work and to kind of start creating spaces and get more involved with spaces that already exist. Because in between filming things, there's no reason not to be working. And, as you said, the theater, it's an important muscle for a dramatic artist to have and to exercise, what they do.
I agree. I moved to LA in 2013 and was here 2013 to 2020. Then left during COVID and moved to New York 23 to 2025. And to come back at this point, I've seen theater not really be held to the standards that we should have it and respected here in LA. So to see now that it's growing, and I don't know if the shift was COVID or the shift was the strike, but people really realizing that theater is the true gold of art. So to see that LA is starting to expand more and people aren't feeling the need. The reason I say it might have been COVID, I don't know, but people don't feel that they have to move to New York to produce or do great theater. It's like, okay, I can make great theater here. Why wait?
And just to jump in with this thing about the art of it, what's brilliant about theater, and not just for actors, but it's an art form that literally incorporates any and every art you can think of. So if you're a visual artist, if you're a movement artist, if you're a lighting design, sounds, there's a place for you in the theater, and there's something for you to do. And even if it's something that's not even typically in the theater, there's like a play or like you can make that happen. And I think that's one of the kind of beautiful, why theater will always be around ultimately, through all these kind of technological, because at the end of the day, it's a place where all artists can come together and kind of tell a story that they deem necessary for the world to hear,
Mhm.
Biko, and both you, Gail, you moved to New York. What type of art were you able to expose yourself to when in New York? I'm just curious what you were able to explore when you were in New York here.
I'm not gonna lie, New York is every day I wake up in New York so happy. It's like everything is art there, which is very true. Like life is art. But New York really imitates that. Like you can get up, walk outside. You don't even have to walk out your house. If your window is open,
right.
there is art just
It's
happening
going
on the
down. It's
street,
going down.
standing in the corner. I remember I went to the Spike Lee did a block party for what film was it that he did this huge block party for? And I just thought it was so great. You saw the different artists, the street painting.
I think I know what you're talking. This was it the Do the Right Thing?
I think,
block
yeah,
party?
it was Do the Right Thing block party. It was like the anniversary. I think that even with just live theater, I recently saw Buena Vista Social Club on Broadway. Phenomenal. Just even the whole history lesson, especially now where history is being taken away from schools, art is being removed out of schools. I think it's just so important being able to have art in such close proximity as it is in New York, whether you're on the subway, whether you're in an actual theater and paying for it, whether you're just standing and walk by someone in Times Square who is singing phenomenal. People don't wait in New York for art to be discovered. I love that it is very intentional. I love that it is people take the initiative to just create and put it out there to the world, and those who are supposed to find it, find it. And it just gave me it reignited the spark that I had in a different way.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
I would just the first thing that came to my mind was in 2016, like early years in New York, first few years in New York, Carrie James Marshall had a master exhibit at the Met Broward, which was life-changing for me, seeing that exhibit. And to speak to what you're talking about as well, it's kind of like a 2-for-1 right here. That museum doesn't exist anymore because of all the budget cuts and whatnot. So, but yeah, there's just, I feel like there's life-changing art everywhere you go in New York. But I think that's also true in every city. I'm big into graffiti too. I love wherever I'm at, I love to see what's going on the walls and all that. And so I mean, it is a romantic, beautiful place. Most cities are, but I also would never say you could be in, Ohio, the Indiana, Tennessee road. Sorry, no disrespect to those states. You know what I mean? And somebody in there is pumping out some art that'll change your life.
But the beauty in New York, though, is like what I discovered from New York and my love for it, right? Everybody there is an artist. Like how you said, there's space for everyone in theater. You can walk into a restaurant and they've curated a vibe, they've curated a menu, and something could be going on. That's the beauty in New York. Like no matter what time it is, no matter where, you can walk in something and you literally just walked into an art show of your own. And it could be the Brooklyn Museum and they turned it into Spike Lee's exhibit, or it could be a corner store, a bodega, and next thing you know, something is happening. So I think I do love that you're always inspired. Something is always going on. It doesn't have to look like a theater. It doesn't have to look like a production studio.
Right.
Right.
Everybody shows that Tatiana's love it. Everybody shows that they are an artist in their own life, regardless of their profession.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I agree. I absolutely love New York. I'm there several times a year. The last time I was there was some acrobatics on the subway. So, I mean, so I definitely feel what you're saying. Okay, I'm going to make this real personal before we close out. So for the two of you, Joel, in addition to being a Broadway journalist, he's also a performer. So what advice would you guys give him?
Like, process process. It really is the journey. It really is the deepening, it's like nobody cares about the deposits. They just want to see the money. You as an artist, you have to tend to that whatever grind that gets those deposits, every day, the things that people don't see, whether you're selling, whether someone like you is interviewing, you know what I'm saying, or not, you got to keep on going, you know what I mean? And whether everybody's praising you or everybody's telling you you're terrible, you have to kind of stay committed to your process. Because that's, at the end of the day, that's all you got, that's what you fall back on,
Absolutely.
work.
Yeah.
I would say Still Like a Great Artist. There's a book called Still Like an Artist,
I
and
love
it is
that
so
book.
phenomenal.
It's a great
Please
book.
read it.
Yeah.
Allow yourself to be inspired. Allow yourself to, and in every area, you can learn from any person. Like, don't ever feel like, oh, you have nothing to gain from an encounter, from an observance, from just having awareness and growing that, right? There could be something that Denzel has his walk, everybody know the Denzel walk.
Right.
And it's like, you may see that and be inspired to have something of your own. That doesn't mean you have to walk like him, but it could be something that you may have that is recognizable.
Right.
Viola Davis has a walk. Her walk ain't Denzel walk, but she got a walk.
It's like when you watch sorry to interrupt
No,
you,
go ahead.
but my mind was blown away when I seen all these Bob Fosse videos, basically doing the exact same steps that Michael Jackson was doing, and you like,
Right.
wait, but he's stealing like an artist,
Yeah, because
and
you make it your own. It becomes your, and it's something that a person may have that you may admire or you may not like. And you take it and then you see like what it does for the physicality or the internal of your character. So definitely always be looking and still, because some things can inspire, a person can say one word and it can inspire a whole different thought or story or evoke something else in me or a character that turns out being brilliant, but nobody even knew that, nothing new under the sun.
And don't create rejection narratives. They're because they're really actually, and people don't believe, I don't believe this all the time, but I know it's true. There really isn't any such thing as a no in this industry, unless you just cooked. And then it's like, no, but you're gorgeous. That's never gonna happen to you, right? You're a great person. So it's never a no. It's just not a yes in that moment. So don't waste your time. Why this? Why that? I should have did it this way. It's a complete waste of time. When you audition for things, done. You prep your performance, whatever it is, done. Whether you hear a call back or get a call back, get whatever. Create something that you're proud of and leave it at that. Don't start, you find out who got it. Don't start adding and subtracting everything they got it,
Connecting dots, that's not
Right.
It did. It's so crazy how many people you hear that really have a whole live narratives in their head that consist of not one single fact. And I've been, I think we've all been guilty of this as artists. It's inevitable. It's in the nature of what we do because we also copy, we steal. So this is how we figure, but you just gotta try to not let that part of the game overwhelm your spirit. Because it's like career and craft are two different things. So if you're minding your craft at all times, if you're getting better, you might not go from amateur to Denzel over, that takes decades, right? But as long as you're getting a little better every day, reading something, reciting something, watching being honest with yourself about what you look like, feel like when you watching yourself, all of these things, it'll all be great.
And focus on the positive. Like there'll often be times where negatives will come into play. That doesn't mean they don't exist. You acknowledge it, but you don't have to focus on it, you know? You don't have to put your attention on it. I am a firm believer that mindset is everything. So I'm not saying suppress stuff, like, because if you don't address it, then eventually it will come to a head. Address it. Okay, we're here now. We're here. Now what? You know, so understanding the moving through it and just trying to remain focused on the positive and give that your energy. You can't go into audition number 10 still bitter about audition 1 through 9.
Well, she's mad, because I'm still mad. But it does you no good. You know, it really does you no good. It's
focus on the work.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you both so much for all of that. That was incredible, invaluable. It was incredible. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for your time.
All right, Gail, Biko, give us the show facts at with table 17 at the Geffen Playhouse.
Table 17 at the Geffen.
2 exes, ex-fiancés, meet up
for the first
time
in
over 2 years.
You gotta come check it out.
First.
But at the Geffen at the Geffen November, at Geffen Playhouse, December 8th.
All right. Thank you both. Where can we find you on social media?
Gail Bean on all platforms.
Say Biko on Instagram, SAYBIKO.
And get it right. Get the pronunciation right. That's right. All right. And then for you, Joel, where can everybody find you on social media?
They can find me on Instagram at Joel Crump Official and check out all my stuff at bwaytime.com.
All right. So Gail Bean, Biko Eisen-Martin, and then, of course, my special guest co-host today, Joel Crump. Thank you all for joining me on Black in the Green Room. I appreciate your time.
Thank you for
having
me.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Be sure to follow me, Keith Underwood, at Mr. Keith L. Underwood on IG. You can also follow me on FB at Keith L. Underwood. And you know you gotta follow Black in the Green Room at Black in the Green Room across all platforms. Until next time, this has been Black in the Green Room.